Hey lovelies, thanks for stopping by my channel today. We are going to be doing a quick little get ready with me, just trying some makeup. Some are new, some are not new, some are things that I've had in my collection. Some of them are here in my top drawer. Now, if you watched my recent bronzer declutter video, I was talking about my top drawer situation. So one side of my top drawer is the things that I grab for every day, but the other side is the things that are new that I want to try out. But there's also like the, I guess I would say chopping block, the little section of products that I'm not sure if I want to keep or not. And so I think I did grab one product from there. So, I'm just trying to like use up some things. I've got a sample that I've been really wanting to try and just keep forgetting to try. So it's just kind of a menagerie. I just really wanted to sit down, put on some makeup, and I grabbed some things that were enticing me. You guys know how this goes. So let's see, today we have some Charlotte Tilbury, some Sephora brand, and I'm going to be using one of my spring palettes for my KBR spring looks. And yeah, just kind of like sitting down and chatting with you guys. So first of all, I just wanted to come on camera to try out this Touch in Sol Pretty Filter Icy Sherbet Primer. So I got this primer from BoxyCharm. I'm going to throw a headband on here while the garbage truck is going by. Just a great time to pick to film. I got this through BoxyCharm and I was kind of like, I don't know, but when I opened it up, the texture just looks so interesting. So I do have my face moisturized. If you guys can see here, I hope that it picks up the the finish of this. It looks, so it's silicone free, but it looks like a silicone primer. That is what it looks like. It has a very strong floral fragrance though, like kind of roses, like sweet roses sort of. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and we're gonna give this a go. It definitely feels cooling. I thought I would give this a go because I thought that this might be nice even in the summertime. If it does have that like slight cooling effect, I thought this might be good for like days where you're not really wearing any makeup, or maybe you just want to like whack on a little bit of concealer and you're just looking for something that will kind of like smooth everything out, make it look a little bit better. I was worried that it was going to start pilling. That's the only thing, especially when you put on your morning skincare. I'm always like, anything that has a little bit of a different texture, I'm like, oh, how's this gonna go? But it doesn't feel like it's pilling at all. I actually like the scent. The scent could be a little bit more subtle, but it is nice. It's like a sweet floral. So Touch in Sol says this is a silicone-free primer that smooths skin texture, gives you silky and fine-tuned finish. Fresh sherbet-like texture, smoothly glides with rich hydration and an instant cool-down effect. It doesn't feel like sherbet, but it did feel a little bit cooling, and I do think like it's nice and like hydrating. Like I look glowy. I mean, I looked a little bit glowier before just because I'm like hella moisturized right now because my skin is still so dry. I've been trying to battle out the breakouts, and so between that and the retinol, you guys know how it goes. So I'm liking this so far. We will see how it goes. Obviously, just using it once with one foundation isn't necessarily going to be the tell-all, but I do think that, I mean, this would be nice to just, like I said, throw on a day where you're not really going to be wearing a lot. So we will see. I will definitely keep you guys updated. Now, I think what I'm going to go through is use a foundation that I haven't used in a while. This is the Becca High Fidelity Semi Satin Foundation. I did do a video using this. This was my Credo Clean haul. So I am going to pop this one on. I think I'm also going to use a Tried or True concealer. This is the Oma Woke concealer. I am having a hard time getting like my exact shade right now. I have a few concealers that I really like, and I feel like some of them are really dark and some of them are really light. So this one I know pretty much works for me. So I'm just gonna quickly go throw these on and I'll be back. I'll probably do my brows too. All right, here we are. I am really happy with the skin so far. I did, like I said, I just went through with the Becca foundation. I used about, I would say 3/4 of a pump, and then I actually just mixed in a little bit of the Watermelon Glow Pink Juice Moisturizer, just to almost like kind of cut it. I do feel like the coverage of this is quite a bit higher than what I would prefer. I probably could have gone through with like a damp beauty sponge and probably gotten the same effect, but I just didn't. I just mixed it with that and I really like it. I love the scent of this. It has like a very like orange scent to it or something. I really like it. And of course, you guys know I love the Woke concealer. I did also just go through and do a little bit like wispier brow today. Like it's still pretty full, but it's definitely like slightly more hairy. I've been just like pulling out my pencil to like get a little bit more structured brow, and today I just wanted something a little softer. So that is what we were starting with. Now I'm really excited to go ahead and give this blush a go. I have the Flushed blush from the Sephora brand. So I picked this up during the Sephora sale, the spring sale. They were doing 30% off for anyone on the Sephora collection. So I was like, these were $10, so with 30% off, that's $7, and I was like, $7, this looks really cool. Now, it is a very different texture than I thought it was going to be, though. It's very, like, oh my gosh, this is very thick, first of all. Holy smokes. But it is very, it feels almost like the Pores No More primer. So that like kind of silicone-y feel. You guys can see here, this is the shade, but it does sheer out nicely. It's like whipped and waxy, but not in a bad way. I mean, we'll see what it looks like when it's on the face, but I just, I don't know, the texture of it. So I think this is gonna be really good if you have maybe more of like an oily skin, because I would think that this like whipped texture would be nice. It's gonna blend out nicely, but not give you like too sheeny of a feel. But I mean, I guess like, I think this texture would actually work on dry skin too, because it's not like, it doesn't look like it's gonna like dry down to like chalky matte, but it is definitely more of a matte blush. So if that's something that you're looking for, this would probably be a really nice one. This color is really interesting. Now they only had 3 colors. Of course, you guys know me, I went for like the corally peachy blush. I think that they had like a brighter pink and maybe like a berry, but this is very, very like skin-like. The texture, like the finish of it is very skin-like. I'm really liking that. The only thing though is I feel like if you are much darker than me, see, this is the other thing. I feel like this foundation is oxidizing a little bit. We'll fix this with some bronzer, but I feel like if you are much darker than me, you're not going to be able to wear any of the shades. They were all pretty light, I feel like, you know, and I'm just putting a little bit on, but I don't think that this shade range is going to be great for like a lot of skin tones. But I do like the finish of this. You guys can see as it's like blended out here, that's what it looks like on my hand. Yeah, it just feels like, it feels like a mix of like Porefessional and a lip balm, if that makes sense. And I like the finish of it. So, I mean, this is just a nice like little fresh cheek, but man, I feel like, you know, this is definitely gonna have to be a winter and spring blush for me, because the color is pretty light. I could have packed on more, but I think I'm gonna be happy with this. In all honesty, I'm headed to the salon after this, so I'm just gonna be throwing on a mask anyhow. All right, so now we're gonna go through and do our bronzer and highlight. So I think I'm gonna go through and bronze first, even though it's a powder and I have a cream highlight, but those two won't be going over each other. So this is one that went in my top drawer during the bronzer declutter. This is the Becca Capri Coast. I have this little sample. If you guys haven't seen this before, it is more of like a sheeny bronzer, but I thought that that would be a nice little vibe for today. I don't know if you guys will even be able to see it here. Let me try to like pack a little bit more on. So it's just like a nice like flush. I think it's maybe just gonna give me a bit of a J-Lo moment, but like J-Lo light, you know? So I was kind of like, I don't know, should I even use this on camera? So I did stop in at Sephora yesterday to return the very expensive item that they sent me the wrong one of during the sale. If you guys didn't catch it, you can catch all that info in my Sephora live haul. But I went back to return that and I saw that they have all of the Becca products that are in stock 50% off. So I was like, wow, that's a really good deal. And they had, I think, all of the Becca bronzers left, and I've heard really good things. I think I maybe used this once. Like Capri Coast, I think, was like a big thing for a while. So I thought that I would get this out because if anybody wanted to try it, you know, at 50% off, that's a pretty good deal. Oh, I like this. This is, it's like adding a sheen, but almost more like a skin-like sheen rather than like a glittery sheen. Ooh. So already I'm kind of tempted to be like, should I go back and get this bronzer? But it's like, even this little sample guy is going to last me a long time. And if you watch the bronzer declutter, I think I had more than I thought I did. I don't think I'm gonna be needing any anytime soon. So let's go ahead and bronze this situation here. Bring a little bit of this down. We did so much yard work this weekend. No, that's a lie. We did a good amount of yard work, but not as much as was needed. But I felt like I was roasting in the sun. I didn't get burned. I wore some sunscreen, but I just felt like I was getting cooked. So I thought like, okay, I'm gonna totally get more tan. No, totally didn't. Maybe like a shade. So now I'm all like, oh, I've been out in the sun for one day. Here we go. It's just so like, it's such a Midwestern way of thinking. Like it's like, oh, tan, and then you like see somebody that lives in like Florida and they're like totally tan. You're like, oh, that's right. I live in the land where we get to see the sun like not that often throughout the year. Okay, so this is looking really good though. What do you guys think? I like it. It is like I said, I think it is a more sheer formula, and this color, they did have darker colors as well, but this color is just like, it gives me that like toasted feel, I guess. I like it. Yeah, I'm really liking this. I don't need to go buy one though, right? So anyway, yeah, so summertime. What are you guys doing this summer? Like, do you have anything planned? I know now with, you know, more vaccines rolling out and everything, people are tentatively making some plans. Jeremy and I don't have anything on the list yet. Oh, by the way, what I'm going to be doing is going through with this little like bubble pack that I got during the Sephora sale. I thought it would be really interesting to try the highlighter. I think I actually have both of these blush shades, but I haven't tried the Rare Beauty highlighter yet, shockingly enough. So I'm gonna use the Transcend shade. This looks to be like a little bit of like a rose goldy situation, so I thought this would work nicely with today. This is the Positive Light Liquid Luminizer. So Jeremy and I don't have anything on the plans yet. I think we're gonna try to get in maybe some like little mini kayaking trips, maybe like trying to work on the backyard a bit and get like a nice hangout area. I feel like this is gonna be so pigmented. I'm like scared. Okay, I'm gonna tap some of this on the back of my hand. This color looks really pretty though. Oh, this is really pretty. I'm gonna see if I can like build this up a little bit. So I feel like this is a little bit more user-friendly than the blush. Like, I love the blushes, but I feel like the blushes are like really, really pigmented. Whereas this, it looks like it's gonna be like crazy Tin Man frosty, but once you get it on the skin, it does blend in really nicely. There are quite a few shades in this product. And by the way, I do realize that I'm talking about a product that's been out for a while now, but if you're like me and you missed the train on this, it does look like they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shades. Once I get to my highlighter declutter, we'll have to see how I am with cream highlights. I did tell myself that I am not buying, again this year, no powder highlights. I just realized that I'm loving cream products so much that a powder highlight to me, it just isn't my jam right now. So I'm not going to be doing any powders, but I'm definitely not saying that I'm not going to buy anything cream. I just know myself too well. What do you guys think? I feel glowy. I really like it. I really like that shade. So now that we've got that on, why don't we just go ahead and set our face just a smidgen. So I'm just going to use my Project Pan RCMA No Color Powder. So I've been keeping this one out, but unfortunately the packaging on this, like, it just blends in. It's so like just there that I kind of forget about it. So I feel like I haven't been using this. After I did my Project Pan video, because I was like reminded to use it, I was pretty good about it for a while, but then I kind of forgot. So it's been a while since I've used it. So I'm just gonna go down my T-zone and over the eyelid just to kind of make sure that the concealer is set. So I feel like, for me, I feel really nice and glowy and a little bit tan, and I'm really liking it. Sorry, I keep looking in the viewfinder because I'm like, oh, I like the way I'm looking. I'm really liking the little bit like slightly softer brow. It's still deeper and darker, but like it's less formed. It is so hard. It is so hard to get that like perfect in between too structured and too wild. And so I think that that's why I was kind of straying away from it for a little while, because I felt like I was just starting to have like brows. But today's a good day. Today's a good day. Like I said, I have a few palettes left for my top eyeshadow palettes for spring, and I said that I was going to be doing eye looks from each of them and posting them on Instagram. But this one I thought I would just do really quick today because I'm just doing a simple soft look. So I thought that I would do this with you guys because I think a lot of us have this palette. This is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, and if you guys haven't seen that video, I will go ahead and link it up above. But basically the basis of this was I shared my top picks for spring, and then I picked out 3 colors from each palette to use as sort of like the starting point for a look. A lot of the looks that I've done, I've stuck with just those 3 colors, but there are a couple that I've drawn in a couple colors. So I went ahead, and it was funny because I was saying that in that video that this was sort of like Neapolitan ice cream, which, you know, nobody can get mad at that. So, because it's like we have chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. So these are the shades that I chose out. I will swatch them here for you. We have Nectar, Just Peachy, and Puree. So these are going to be the main shades that I'm working with. So these are the 3 shades. And then it's funny because you've got this highlight over here, which is sort of like a mix between the pink and the vanilla shade. So, or the strawberry and the vanilla shade, I guess I should say. So we're just going to go through and do like a little like soft look. I do have a brighter lipstick that I want to wear, so I do want to keep it like fairly soft and just, you know, just that whisper of color. So I'll probably just speed right through this because it's not going to be anything like mind-blowing. So just sit back and enjoy a couple seconds of music. But first, I'm going to drink some coffee. Okay, this is turning out to be like the most basicest of basic looks, and I am totally okay with that, but I just have to say I am struggling so hard right now because almost all of my eye brushes are dirty. I am not going to lie. Almost all of them are dirty. I have this big bucket, this big bucket that I have to get through and clean, but I just went to use this Fenty eyeshadow brush that I got, I think from BoxyCharm for like really cheap, but this one is so fat, so I like went to like use it on my lid and it was like, oh, all of your eyeshadow is now going to be that Nectar shade. So that's kind of funny. So I had to like blend that into the Puree shade that I used. So since I stopped to chat with you guys, I'm just gonna let you know I'm just using that Just Peachy shade, and I'm just gonna run that under the eye for like a shimmery under eye, and then we'll be good to move on. Okay, I just looked up from doing my eyes and I saw that the camera had turned off. So I'm not sure what you got to see. It wasn't that exciting. I just ran that color underneath my eye, which I think really goes well because it kind of ties into the blush and highlight color. And then I just popped a little bit of that Nectar shade. That's the one that was on my lid, and I just ran that into the inner corner. So now we're just gonna go through and use a little bit of setting spray. I'm actually gonna use this Sweet Chef Ginger and Kombucha Vitamin D Chill Mist. I used this in another Get Ready With Me, and I'm actually really liking this spray. So I have a feeling that for any of the nutrient benefits, you probably would want to use that before any of your makeup, which I do sometimes too, especially if it's been a little while between my skincare and my makeup process. I'll just like put a little bit of that on, but I just like it. It just is like more of like, just sets the powder down. I don't think it does anything super fancy. So here's the thing. I like this palette. It is pretty. But I'm just realizing now, after playing with it a little bit more, now granted this Nectar shade is kind of like a but after just getting so many really awesome like indie brand eyeshadows and just the newer formulas that are out there, I am just starting to be underwhelmed with this. I think it is still, if you're looking for a very easy to use like neutral palette, obviously pull this one out of your collection, but like, it's just starting to feel like ho-hum to me. The mattes are really good, but the shimmers they just aren't as good. Like, I probably could have like wet my brush. I didn't feel like doing that, but now like pulling some of these out, like the one that's in here, and I've almost hit pan on it, the Luscious shade that's in here, that's the one that you're seeing right now, like blinging on my hand. So, but then like even the Bellini shade that's right next to that, it's like, okay. So I don't know. I'm definitely having to pull out like my palettes that I have to use them, because at some point I'm going to come to the eyeshadow portion of my declutter. And I want to be prepared for that because I want to have used everything at least once within like the last few months so that I can be like, oh yeah, I really like that, or meh. I hate to say it, but the color story of this and the ease of the shadows, I don't regret putting this in my spring palettes, but like this lid shade, to me, this almost looks matte, and it's not. So on a normal day, I would probably like, okay, I need more shine, and I'd put something over this. We're not gonna do that. We're just gonna leave it. It's kind of boring, but we're just gonna leave it. So now I think just for a little extra vavoom, I'm gonna go through with the Amber Moon liner. This is the Rock and Coal from Charlotte Tilbury. I think I'm just gonna tight line with this, but maybe we'll put a little bit up on top. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I'm just gonna get this done. So I'm curious to know, like, what do you guys usually grab for, like, in the spring and summer? Because I feel like, okay, it's May now. Like, when do we start being like, okay, because I think we're all ready for summer at this point. I am a little bit sad because here in Wisconsin, we had like a couple really nice spring days, and now it's just been kind of like blah. It's been getting chilly again and, you know, rainy. I'm like, no, we had a couple really nice days, and I'm worried this happens so many years that we go straight from like 50s and 60s to like 90 and sticky, and I don't like that. First of all, my hair gets like so large that you can't even fit it on this screen, but it's like, I don't like the humidity. I don't like sweating. So it's like, can't we just have like 75 and nice? Come on, weather. But, you know, we go from like chilly, we get 2 days of nice weather, and then it's just like time to sweat to death. Actually, I think I'm just gonna leave it tight lined. I'll also be very curious to see how long this lasts. So I've only used this like once or twice. Again, I think it was in another like little get ready with me, so we will do that. I am also going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes Volume 2 mascara. This was in my little advent calendar, and I'm like, oh, I should probably use that. So I am trying to get through some of my mascaras in my drawer, and honestly, I know that the ones that I have in my top drawer over here, I probably need to look through and get rid of a couple. There are a couple that are either have been open for long enough that they need to get chucked, or some that I've been just trying to like get the last little bit out of. I'm like, why are you fighting like that? Why are you doing that? It's not like it's the zombie apocalypse and this is your last tube of mascara. You have lots of mascara. I don't know why I do that, but it's time to open a new one. So I've never used this mascara. I've never used any Charlotte Tilbury mascara, so we will see how this goes. I'm not sure. The only thing is, I don't know if I want to put this on my bottom lashes, because what if it's smudgy? And I've got a long day. I'll be at the salon until like 8 o'clock tonight, maybe a little bit later. I don't know. Okay. I like it. It's like fluffier than maybe I thought it was going to be. I don't know if that's the wand. I really like a wand like that's, I like a natural bristle, but something that's not too huge. So this is pretty nice. Oh, I didn't curl this eyelash. Am I gonna make a mess now? I was like, oh, this one's not like as perky. I was like, that's because I didn't curl it. All right, I may regret this because I just threw it onto my lower lashes like out of like habit. And I have pretty long lower lashes. So if this is a smudgy mascara, I'm gonna be in trouble today, I have a feeling. All right, so I've got a couple flecks that I'll clean up in a little bit, but I have to say I like this mascara, although I could probably go for like a third coat if I was wanting a lot more volume. I feel like it's like a fluffying, like defining, almost more like lengthening mascara. I wouldn't necessarily call this a volumizing mascara, but maybe that's just because I'm so used to like my Bite Upswing mascara that like really gives you like fat lashes. I went ahead and just applied a third coat to my top lashes. Like I said, I really like this, but I feel like it's more of like a feathery lash mascara. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a feathery. All right, now for our lips. This is kind of why I wanted to keep the rest of this makeup a little bit more like subtle and like slightly glowy bronze, because I wanna go in with this really hot lipstick. This I tried on in my recent video. This is the Sephora Rouge Smooth Shine Lip Crayon. Wow, Sephora's getting like all these other brands and having like names of products that are like 10 miles long. So this is the shade Cheap Date. I really like these. They were like on sale for like $4 on the website. The last time I checked, they were still available. So if you like a shiny lip and you're okay with having to reapply, like these are a really good deal. What do you guys think? I love this color. I love it. I think that this is a really great way to have like a wearable bright or bold color because the formula is a little bit more sheer. So it's not like, you know, you've got that like orangey red coral, but it's not like so opaque that it's gonna like punch you in the face. So if you're intimidated a little bit, having a sheer formula like this is a good way to get into color. I like it. I totally could have gone through and like lined my lips and done all that business, but in all honesty, I'm gonna get to enjoy this for the rest of this video and for my next video that I'm going to be filming. But after that, I'm probably just gonna have to wipe this off because I have to go to work and throw a mask on. Now, I do remember when I wiped this off because I wanted to put on a different lip gloss to show you guys, I did feel like I had a little bit of staining. Like I had to like rub at it pretty good to get all of the color off. So even though this is probably gonna wear away, you probably will be left with a little bit of color, which is kind of nice, but this is definitely going to be one of those things that you have to keep in your purse or nearby to be able to touch it up every so often. So what do you guys think? I have to say, like, I'm feeling pretty good. I think that this was a fun little way to use some of the things in my drawer. I'm definitely going to keep this Becca out for the summer. Like this Capri Coast bronzer is really, really pretty. I really like the highlight. That might be something that like I said, we'll see how my highlight declutter goes. We'll see what I'm left with. I just feel like there are maybe some colors. Like I don't think that I have a liquid highlight that's more in this like rose goldy situation. So I don't know, we'll have to see. I do think that this blush is really nice. I think you do have to be a little bit lighter skin tone to be able to enjoy it, but I do like the color. Yeah, we'll see how it wears. I mean, I feel like this is a really good like spring into summer look. I like a bright lip. I think that, you know, a glowy face, bright lip, we are good to go. It was nice to be able to use another one of my spring palette picks. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. You'll have to let me know, what kind of spring makeup have you been enjoying using? Let me know some of the products that you've maybe found that you've been loving. I would really like to know what you are up to this spring. And let me know, what do you have for summer plans? I like living vicariously through everybody and knowing what everyone is doing. So again, thank you so much for spending a little bit of your day with me. I always appreciate it. If you did like this video, don't forget to give it a like, and I will see you really soon. Come on, weather, but it just doesn't happen. We get like 3 days of that, and then it's like time to sweat your balls off. I don't even have balls. What are we talking about?